It's nice to see everybody here. I talked to a couple people, so we've got some choir people and theater. Any band people? Great, awesome, awesome. So I work at Innovative Percussion. I've been at this company for 29 years, long time, and the company was actually born out of MTSU. I was a student at MTSU. And the president of the company is Eric Johnson. He was adjunct faculty there, and basically just had this idea to start a keyboard mallet company. My teacher at MTSU, Lalo Davila, years earlier had done a class, just a master class on making your own keyboard mallets. So for those of us in school that were, broke, for lack of a better word. It was great to be able to make your own tools. And what I noticed right away was it made me a better musician to understand the mechanics of the tools that I was using. So that's where it all started. It started in his apartment, and we've grown this thing over the last 30 years to now we're in 18 different countries. We just had a shipment that was held up that was going to Russia today. I think that's gonna be with us for a while. But it's great to be a part of something that has grown. I've kind of seen it, from the very beginning. And basically, when I was in high school, I would say probably the ages that you are now. Do we have mostly seniors, or are there juniors? There's freshmen in here as well? Awesome. That's great. I think it was probably my senior year when I just decided that I was not a great student. I'm just going to tell you, I was not a great student. My love was music. I couldn't wait to get home and play, and being in marching band, that's what I focused on, but certainly in high school, you got to start thinking about career. What am I going to do? And for me, I felt like I had a calling. I felt like a musical life was who I was. It really felt comfortable. It felt like home. But more than that, just an artful life. I wanted to fill it up with whatever I could fill it up with. So I went to MTSU to become a band director. My hero in high school was my band director, my mentor. He was actually my band director in grade school as well, and I wanted to follow in his path. Here's a guy that he lives and breathes music all day long. And he was also, he was a drummer as well, and played in a lot of bands in town. And I wanted to follow that path. So when I got into school, I soaked up everything that I could possibly soak up. And I'll give you the first bit of advice in terms of a career that's fully in this idea of an artful life. I didn't say no to anything. There were so many different playing opportunities and just opportunities to be a part of something that was musical or artful. I leaned towards anything that felt like that. So at MTSU in particular, they have a great studio program, recording industry program. So I started calling around there. It was like, I'd like to try to record something, And there, they need people to come in and volunteer as much as possible. So I'd get into the studios over there, and also really kind of dug into these tools that we all use as musicians and singers and actors. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, with singers. You've all had an experience singing on a mic, I would imagine. So I think it's important to learn about those tools. You know, if you're singing into multiple microphones, suddenly, you know, this one, I sound incredible on this mic. You know, ask yourself why that is. What is it about this thing? There's so many aspects of an artful life if you just are open to see it, to see all of these little different aspects. A little bit more about my job. When I got into this, just making keyboard mallets for other people to be able to express themselves, express their art. For me to be a small part of that, for me, was incredible. I mean, it was a really impactful thing. I think a lot of people get into certain industries and they don't really focus on what it is that they're doing or building, even if it's a simple operation. Let's say if you start working for a guitar company, you know, and you're just packing guitars or you know, menial tasks. There's always the question of why. This part of us as musicians that's the critical thinking side of things. Asking the question why. I have well, since COVID, we had to let a lot of our employees go, and we got several key guys back and girls, but we had to train a whole new crew of people. So the learning process started all over again. One of the things that I really noticed was, and is everybody familiar with keyboard mallets, like a marimba, xylophone, that kind of thing? Well, these mallets, a lot of them are made on rattan. Rattan is this cane that comes from Indonesia. And we have to cut everything to certain lengths. Well, you have to take that rattan and round the ends of it. So I was showing everybody, okay, you have to round this. It looks like this. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Some people got it, some people didn't. But once I told them the why, I was like, do you know why we do this? You round that because the way certain people play, that mallet kind of digs into their hand, you know, and you don't want to leave a mark. It doesn't need to be irritating. Once they learned the why, well, everybody could do it. I mean, everything looked great, you know. So that why, when you're in your, you know, your artful thinking, you know, question these little things, because I think it makes you a better player. It makes you a better singer. It makes you a better musician to really dig in on all of these aspects of it. This particular opportunity here, unfortunately, opportunity is not a level playing field, right? This in here is an incredible opportunity. This school is so supportive of the arts. I've taught a lot of different schools around this area. I've never taught at Siegel, but I taught at Riverdale and at Oakland a little bit. But there's a lot of support for the arts in this school, and this is a great opportunity. This is a good place to build on, right? So from here, if you know that you are an artful person, you know, it's an incredible thing to know who you are at this age. You know, if this is what you feel like you are and you want to be, what an incredible opportunity this is. But my other piece of advice would be just to look for these little opportunities and try to say yes as much as you can. Theater is a great it's a great example of how you can be involved. Theater has so many different aspects, right? We're building sets, you know, mic placement, sound. I know Mr. Gregory runs sound actually for that band, and he does sound for the plays here. I guess he still does. For those of you, yeah. And another MTSU grad. So there's a lot of aspects of these things that you want to be a part of, that you just need to be in the conversation. You know, if you're sitting on the couch and you're hungry, you know, get up and go to the kitchen. My suggestion is be in the kitchen all the time. You know, if this is what you want to do, be in the kitchen all the time. And part of what led me to do what I'm doing now is having that mentor, having that person that you really look up to, that you idolize, that you want to be like. You know, find that person that's doing the thing that you want to do, and reach out to them. Communication is so easy now, either through you know, email or TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, all of these people are very accessible, for sure. So I really suggest that is find a mentor, for sure. So part of what we do at Innovative is we wear a lot of different hats. So my role is in purchasing and cost analysis, but also product design. I didn't know any of this stuff before I started working at Innovative. Like I told you, I was not very good in school, but my passion for this artful life led me to understand all of these things. Purchasing, you know, all of these things, HR, hiring and firing, it's pretty boring, you know. But this artful life, this idea that what I'm doing provides something for the musical community, that's what fuels everything, right? That passion for this musical life. It helps in the learning of things. So let's say if you guys are you have the task of writing a report on somebody. I would suggest, if this is something that you're interested in, I would suggest writing a report on whoever it is that leans heaviest to what it is that you want to do in your future life. You know, eat up all of this information because these historical figures, you know, they help you learn about what you want to be, what you want to become, how you want this artful life to continue. Just eat it up and say yes. Say yes to as many things as you can, with regard to music and theater and singing, all of this. You know, say yes. Let me talk a little bit about what we look for in an employee at Innovative. We look for, first of all, we definitely look for a musician. We look for somebody that's passionate about what they do, because it helps with the manufacture of these products. If you know how to play and you just carry that over to what you're doing, and critical thinking is very important. Asking the why. I think as creative people, I think we're typically skeptical of a lot of things. We like to ask why. Why is it that this is this way? Why do we do that? We look for that. We look for that for sure. And this camaraderie that all of the guys have in our office. For the most part, they're all drummers. You know, there's a trumpet player in there. I think we have one non-musician, you know, but we want musicians that are making these products so they can relate. The camaraderie and the community within this company is great. I mean, we're a bunch of drummers that are playing with drumsticks and talking music all day long. It's a really great community. So if you have this passion for an artful life, a company like ours, we need you. We really need you. We need that passion. We need more music. We need more art. We need more theater in our lives, because we've been void of that for the last 2 years, really. You know, for us at Innovative, it kind of felt like when we shut everything down, it kind of felt like the day music died a little bit. You know, we were pretty nervous, kind of sitting around staring at each other, going, "Man, I hope this comes back soon," and it's coming back stronger than ever. You know, my hope is that there'll be this really great renaissance of art and music once we get past all of this. Feels like we're getting past it, but I don't want to jinx it. So let's see. I definitely would encourage you all to learn about the mechanical side of this art form. For me, once I started learning about drumsticks and type of wood and all that kind of stuff, it just made me a better player. And the thing that's great about working in the industry is that you have a lot of connections. When you're talking music all day long, I'm still going out and playing on the weekends, playing several different bands. A lot of the guys in the company do that as well. So you don't have to sacrifice that part of yourself if you get into the industry, in the music industry. You know, keep playing, because it only helps. Keep singing, keep acting. I mean, it only helps your position in the music industry to understand these things. We've been looking for an artist relations guy lately. We've had a lot of young people coming in that don't necessarily play all that much. I'm looking for a player, somebody that can relate to these guys. Like, I got a call from Brooks Wackerman before I got here. He's the drummer for Avenged Sevenfold. And he's talking about, wanting to do a bunch of new promo pictures and all this kind of stuff. An artist relations guy needs to be able to connect with that musician. And that's what we look for. We look for guys that can really connect, that are players, so that they can relate. We live in a time where a lot of these companies are starting to get more corporate. There's not as much personal connection. So the player aspect in these companies is really important. It's really important. Let's see. I guess, does anybody have any questions about this industry, the music industry? Yeah.
Well, you said you went from an apartment to 18 different countries. So how, I know you said the years. How many years did it take you?
Yeah, so we've been in business for 29 years. When we started out, we were making a lot of products for the marching bands and drum corps, and it just expanded from there. We started picking up some marimba artists and doing some things on the collegiate level, and just constantly improving and expanding. And our products are sold all over the world now. Yeah, it's a really cool thing to see what was born out of MTSU, just right down the road. It's been a real gratifying thing. Any other questions? Yeah.
I believe that music is a talent that you're born with, because you can learn it through classes and stuff. You don't have an innate ability.
Yeah, I definitely think it is a learned thing. I think you let your passion lead you. If you're passionate about it, and like I said, just be in the kitchen. Just be in it. Immerse yourself in it. If that's what you want to do, just immerse yourself in every aspect of it. And all of that will that talent, that drive, it'll all become second nature. You know?
Any other questions? Well, thank you, Chris. That was great.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Very much.
You're very welcome.
And